You see the sort of chaos that we're seeing right now, these rallies, the protests, we're only 2-3 years out of COVID, summer of love, and all of the chaos related to that. We need law enforcement to do some things, and yet you're making a movie about the ever-encroaching movement, or ever-encroaching growth, I suppose, of the security state.
Well, I mean, we need law enforcement to do the things that it was empowered to do. I mean, this is a little bit like sometimes when I talk police state, I'll have these Republicans. This is like a classic Republican congressman response. Well, Dinesh, we're supposed to be back the blue. Now you're saying the police state. And I'm like, of course, there's no contradiction between backing the blue and backing the cops doing what cops are supposed to do, and similarly insisting that the FBI go after the mafia and go after organized crime and do the things that the FBI was set up to do. But, I have to explain in this movie what is going to cause an FBI agent, by and large a good guy, and in fact sometimes a right-of-center guy, to kick into an apartment at 6 in the morning, go find some 70-year-old grandmother, wrestle her to the ground, twist her arms behind her back and put handcuffs, pull her down the stairs if she won't go willingly, pull her into the street where neighbors come and they gawk at her. I mean, how do you get a good guy to do a bad thing? I think that is key to understanding the psychology of a police state.
And that's what people used to ask about the Nazis, actually.
The same question.
Not to do that reductum, but I mean, that was the same question. These weren't all bad people 5 years before.
Yeah, and I specifically mention, Hannah Arendt and her idea about Eichmann from the book Eichmann in Jerusalem, that Eichmann was, he was a Nazi, but that wasn't what motivated him. He was sort of like, I want to be part of a really efficient system. I'm an up-and-comer. I want to be recognized for my own creative efforts. And so I'll ally with this cause, and I'll become a sort of master builder of this cause. And so this was Arendt's famous phrase, the banality of evil, because this guy was not all about, let's rid Europe of the Jews. He was ultimately an opportunist and a social climber. And I think that is an important insight. There are evil people, and then you have evil people who set up bureaucratic mechanisms to get good people and just ordinary people who want to get ahead in life to do those bad things.
Was the genesis of this movie January 6th? Or I'm guessing you've obviously been kicking these ideas around for quite some time, but was that really the thing that got you to make it?
I started out thinking...
Or at least the reaction, let's say, to January 6th.
Well, I started out thinking that there is an untold story about January 6th, and I think we actually have it in the movie. By that I mean, I always like to not just recycle what other people are saying, but break new ground in understanding an event, and we can talk about that if you like. But I started out saying, I've got an insight about January 6th, let's do a movie on that. Then I realized there are 4 or 5 other guys making a January 6th movie. And so I pulled back and I thought to myself, there's a bigger story here that connects to really all the features of a police state.